Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. It's good to have you all back here again. And if you're just joining for the first time, this is the first time you're seeing this face and you're watching my video, you're welcome. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for stopping by. And you know what next you should do? You should subscribe to this channel, join the family by smashing the subscribe button down there, so that you will get a first-class notification of all the videos I will be posting, right? So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you steps you can use to stop comparing yourself with others. Remember, in the previous video, if you've not watched it, I'm going to leave the link in the description box below and somewhere in the card, right? So in the previous video where I talked about tips to boost your confidence, I talked about not comparing yourself, and that was the first point which I really emphasized on. So I feel that point is so crucial to self-confidence that it needed a video of its own, and that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be going in depth and just taking you along with, I'm taking you along 5 steps you can use to overcome that. 5 steps that also worked for me. Now, number 1 is for you to own your label. What do I mean by that? It means like you have to define what success and happiness means to you. You know, in the world we live in, there are so many labels now. There's beauty, there's success, there's wealth, family. There's so many things. So own your own label, own your own definitions, because if you don't sit down and craft out and find out what these things mean to you, what you think beauty is, what you think success is, what you think happiness is, then you'll see that you'll be living your life or valuing those things according to other people's perception, right? So there are 5 areas that you should consider, or you should sit down and define to yourself what they mean to you. Now, what does success and happiness mean to you financially? There are different definitions of being financially independent or wealthy to people. When you sit down, what does it mean to you? Define what success, happiness means to you financially, spiritually, mentally, physically. That is beauty, body-wise. The same thing also goes for your emotional success. You have to define that. So what to you, who do you think an emotional stable person is? Like, what does emotional stability mean to you? You have to define that to yourself. So this leads me to the second point. Now, after you've owned your label, you've defined your what success and happiness means to you in all the areas of your life, you stay on your lane. That is my second point. Don't start poking your head and looking for other people, what other people are doing. Focus on your strengths. Work on your strengths. If there are weaknesses that you think you really need to work on them. Do you get? You can't. The truth is, I don't think there is anybody that would have 100% strength and 0% weakness. I don't think so. So it means that you have to like accept your shortcomings, the ones you can't change. But the ones you can change, work on them. Focus on yourself. The only person you are allowed to compare yourself with is your past self. Okay, let me use this YouTube community like for example. Now, I'm not into makeup. My niche is not makeup. I'm into personal development and mindset hacking. Now, if I see a YouTuber, like a makeup artist, that is doing well in her niche, even doing better than me as regards to maybe having so much videos on her channel or having so much subscribers and all that, so she's just doing well. I mean, it will be foolhardy of me to start comparing myself with her, because we're on different lanes, we have different audience, we have different patterns, we have different goals. That's how it's supposed to be in life generally. Focus on your set of preferences and don't look to the other side. Make your own profile, like make a profile of yourself. I remember one time when I was I think I was still in secondary school, or I just finished. No, okay, I think I was in the university or so, but like very early on, first or second year in the university. I used to have like a profile of myself. I did it in form of like a CV, a curriculum vitae. Yeah, you know, wrote my name, wrote my bio statistics, the things I like, the things I dislike, the kind of people I gravitate towards, my talents, you know, just what the aim I wanted to achieve with that is to bring myself on a paper so that I can read and see who I am. And it was a way of getting to know myself. Most of us don't know ourselves, but we might know our friends, we know our families, but we don't take the time to know ourselves. Do you get? So it was a way of knowing myself. Like I wanted to understand who I was, introduce myself to myself. So those are the kind of things you should be doing. Focus on collaboration, not competition. I actually got this point from Jay Shetty. He's a very popular motivational speaker. So he was talking about, you know, instead of competing, instead of comparing yourself like, oh, okay, she has this, I don't, I have this, she doesn't, and doing all that kind of thing, why not collaborate? Why not work together? You know, this is where the saying two heads are better than one comes in. I remember when I was in university, actually, there's my very good friend now. She's a very, very, very good friend of mine now. She was like the hottest head then in the university, you know, and I noticed her. Then she wasn't my friend, like, you know, we didn't used to talk, but I took the initiative. Like, I'm like, no, I have to be this girl's friend. You get? I didn't have to start comparing. I didn't have to start thinking and wondering and feeling sorry for myself. No, I extended my hand of friendship to her. Like, I told her that, look, you know, I made it clear. Maybe I wouldn't have voiced, but I made it clear to her that I wanted her to be my friend. And it happened. And we are friends. And she was very happy to be. And of course, I learned so much from her, not just academically, in so many areas of life. So I would also encourage you guys, like, there's no room for comparison. Like, just, it's a waste of time. That time you're using to compare, use it to collaborate, use it to reach out to that person and collaborate with the person. So the fourth way you can stop comparing yourself with others is to know that there is a season for everything. There is a season under the sun. Even the Bible acknowledges that. And if you notice, most times when we compare ourselves is negatively, like when we are maybe in a negative situation. You hardly compare yourself when you're in, like, when things are working for you. But once you see a certain weakness, it's very quick to compare yourself. You know, but it shouldn't be. You know, when you realize that everybody has seasons in their life, the same way, you know, in our world, in our ecological system, we have seasons. There is nobody, for example, now, say in Europe, there is nobody, there's no country that has summer all through the year. It's never happened. In Africa, I mean, you don't have dry season all year round. You know, it doesn't happen. So it's the same thing also applies to us as humans in our life. We should know that nothing lasts long. Everything has their season. You know, good things, they come and they go. Bad things, they come and they go. When you do that and you realize that for the other person too, you know, they have their own seasons. They might be in their summer, for example, and you might be in your winter. I mean, it doesn't make sense for you to now start comparing a winter and summer, like comparing, because they serve their own purposes. Both of them serve their own purposes differently. Both of them have their own strengths, they have their own good parts, they have their own weaknesses. So it doesn't make sense to compare them. Everyone has their season. They have their good seasons, they have their bad season, they have the high and the low season, you know. And when you have that at the back of your mind, I think it will make comparison look so foolish, really, because that's what it is. Last point I'm going to share with you is learn instead of judging. Instead of comparing yourself, ask, what is he doing that is making him, you know, that is making him able to afford going, you know, for frequent vacations. If it's someone you want to approach, you can even approach the person and ask the person. But if you don't want to ask, you can find out for yourself. Like, try to decipher what's happening, what's he doing. Oh, okay, he works overtime, he does this, he does that, he saves up. So in that way you learn. And if you break down those steps and you see that, okay, it's something I want to do, it's something I can do, go ahead and do it and live that life you want to live, instead of sitting down there whining and feeling sorry for yourself, which will not help anything. All right, so this is the end of this video, and thank you for staying with me up to this point. Yeah, I appreciate you guys so much. I mean, without you, I would just be talking to thin air, right? So if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. There's a subscribe button down there. Just smash that subscribe button so that you will be notified of my videos once I post them. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, like this video. If you have something to say, please feel free, comment in this comment section below. If you have not watched my previous video, I'm going to put the links in the description box, or you can press there's a exclamation mark sign up here. It's the card, you can click it and it will take you to my previous videos. Until I see you in the next video, it's Ihoma Adada signing out. Bye.